free energy device. So you got to learn about him. And then there's, of course, Wilhelm Reich, who learned about moving positive and negative energy using quartz crystals and water and things like this. And he was the guy that was able to make it rain. And he also was learning how major concepts of moving energy that were used eventually to develop the concepts of orgonite. And ultimately, if you look into what he was doing, you'll see that the energies that he was playing with were the same energies that were used in the Ark of the Covenant and things like this. But if you tie this all together, then you'll start understanding the universe a little bit. And then if you want to get really into it, you start learning about a guy named Konstantin Mail, who's a physicist out of Germany, who's also probably the one after Tesla that best understands the concept of a scalar wavelength or the scalar spectrum. And if you basically learn from him, you'll see that the entire electromagnetic spectrum, which is all the energy that we use in this entire reality here on Earth, basically is not the only thing there is. There's other spectrums that are completely parallel and not even connected that drive. And you'll find out that these things all work in a vortex. All energy, everything travels in a vortex, and it moves in a vortex. And when a vortex moves, it creates other vortexes, and that's what the electromagnetic spectrum is actually a vortex inside of another vortex, which is the spectrum on the level just above us, which is scalar, which is of the fourth density. And
right.
And
CRV, for example, Stephen, CRV is it happens in fourth density? No, for example.
CRV,
yes.
Remote viewing is technically fourth density.
Yeah.
Okay, if you will. It's actually beyond fourth density. But the spirit world, if you will, all of that energy, the ability to separate your mind, it's like when you're on a DMT.
Yes.
Your ayahuasca, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
You're entering into this other realm. You're stepping up. You're stepping out of this density into the other density. And when you think about it, the ability to do that is very similar to what the aliens do when they visit our density.
That's true.
They step into our density, just the same way as if we were to go on be high, do ayahuasca, they can step into our density probably without even thinking about it, and it becomes real to us, but they're not even really there. They're on another density, but there's the reality, see, because the reality that they're on, just the suggestion of something creates something that's actually real on our level.
Yeah. Have you ever seen fourth density alien, Stephen, by any chance?
Well, again, like I just said, you're only going to see them if they want you to see them.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly.
You know, and a lot of your reptoids and what have you, that's what they're doing, the phase shifters.
Yes, phase shifters, very interesting. For example, let me ask you something. There is a trend going on in the world right now. There's a movie on it. The name of the movie is Conjuring 2. I bet you've seen this movie or heard about it.
The Conjuring?
That's The Conjuring. Very good. Conjuring 2. Yes. And it's about this entity, right, which appears to wear a hat. People are calling it the Hat Man, right? And the Rothschilds. Let me just explain this very quickly. We're gonna be cut off, okay, probably. But anyway, so.
Because he's a hat man.
Yeah, there's a song, right? There's a song. Wait a minute, what song is that?
That was Taxman.
Taxman with it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hat man. He's a hat man.
Did the Beatles try to wake everybody up a little bit, I think, or not? I don't know, but yes, some way.
Oh, there's a good, interesting segue. You know what? I've had some conversations with John Lennon here recently.
You're kidding me. What? You're kidding me.
Actually, no, it was through a channeler.
Okay.
Through psychic.
Okay.
All right. Well, I just know. Okay, I'll just say this. All right. I know people are gonna think this is dumb and all this, but I've enjoyed the conversations myself quite a bit, so I'm not gonna say it's dumb. But anyway, apparently, John enjoys being channeled. He likes to keep. He's into what's going on here because he was a peace activist, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's still really interested in what goes on down here. He still wants to see things work out, right?
Yeah.
So when you're like what I do, I'm a peace activist, right? Sort of, and he gets off on that. He's like a fan. Okay, like you're a fan, right? He's a fan too. Okay, John Lennon's is a fan. I didn't. Obviously, I started doing what I did after he was already gone. But he watches all this stuff. He watches what we do, and he gets off on it. He thinks this is cool, right?
Right.
Anyway, so there's this guy who channels John Lennon, right? And it's just just one of those things that John, he comes through some people. I'm sure he comes through lots of different people, but he comes through this one guy, and I'm like, well, let's talk to John, or let's see what John has to say about this or that. And of course, we ask him different Beatles questions, and oh gosh, I mean, I could tell you all kinds of dirt on the Beatles that I got from these sessions.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me! Oh my gosh, that would be nice, man.
Well, totally, I could tell you some dirt on the sessions. In fact, it was the stuff that he told me. It was so clear and so obvious, and it just totally made sense too. But
yeah, I mean, like what? Oh my gosh.
Well, like they were Tavistock Institute. They were like all mind controlled. Basically, they were being
used. Oh my!
He said that the stuff that they used to do to them was similar to like the movie Clockwork Orange. You ever seen the movie Clockwork Orange?
Yes, I have. Oh my gosh!
Remember the scene where all that shit that they were doing to women in Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he said. That's what it was like.
They were not conscious, like super conscious. They were not 100% conscious.
That's like forcing them. Remember, we're talking 1960s technology.
Okay.
This is like giving them drugs and making them watch movies.
Giving them drugs and making them watch movies.
Having them listening to soundtracks over and over, lights, keeping their eyes open, all that crap. Okay. That's what they did, that kind of stuff. That's old-fashioned mind programming stuff they used to do to them. Anyway, so yeah, those guys were all totally manipulated that way. And yes, Paul definitely did die. Paul died.
Jesus Christ. That other guy, what's his name?
We talked a lot about the Billy Shear.
Billy Shear, yeah. Well, that's
in
true.
Fact, he said when Paul died, that changed everything. And you could see that all their records and stuff were being rebellious. They went into rebellion mode after that.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
See how they were all nice and everything was nice, and then after Paul died, they started to go into this kind of lashing out, and that's why after that, from that point on, they put all this crap in their covers, and they were doing everything they could to try to piss off the boss, so to speak.
The boss. Very good.
Yeah. That's why they had all those cryptic messages, and because they were trying to get
number
back.
Number nine.
That crap. Yeah,
Jesus
they did all
Christ.
that crap on purpose. That was why they did all that crap.
Oh my God.
But anyway, so yeah, John's a fan. He likes. Let me see. What did he do? What did he tell me? He just. I can't really think if he gave me any advice on anything. He just said he liked it. I guess. Oh, I know what he said. He actually did give me some advice. Now that I remember.
Okay.
He told me there was a couple of songs that he wanted me to use. Of his songs.
Okay.
I can't remember the names. I'll go back and remember the names, but because this was a little while ago. But he told me a couple songs. He wanted me to use these couple of his songs and something else. Oh, well, he's all about love. Okay.
Yeah.
John Lennon's all about love, so that's his thing. He's like, I mean, obviously, what do you think he's going to say? He's like, it's love is the answer. That's his thing. Love is the answer.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
That's what he's going to tell you, no matter
all
what.
You need is love, right?
All you need is love. Yeah. Well, love is the answer is what he said. That's his song, but he just says, "Oh, love is the answer." That's his main thing.
Motto, that's his main motto, right.
Yeah. But what else? Of course, he's very, he's him. He's kind of a. I'm not going to call him a narcissist, but he's got a little ego, right?
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
And he's a clown. He's a bit of a clown, of course. And what else can I tell you? Dead, of course, but this guy says, oh, he'll, you can channel him too if you want. I'm like, oh man, I don't do that. Come on. It's like, but from what I understand about this whole spiritual thing is if you really did want to talk to somebody in particular, you can, but it's like whether or not you get a response, it's like you have to be able to hear it. You have to pay attention.
Okay, right. You have to really pay attention.
Yeah, you got to pay attention, and you have to understand that when what you get is what you get. If you get a little thought in your head, that's your answer. That's it.
Right.
And that's how psychic stuff works. It's like seriously, that's what it is. Being a psychic, it's that little thought that pops into your head. You ask yourself a question,
and it pops in your head.
and it just a little thing pops in your head. That is your
And you don't
answer.
give that thing, you give that thing zero credit. You think like, no, that's nothing.
Exactly, exactly. And you
Oh my
go, wait,
gosh,
that's not it. You go, and you're like, no, okay, I'm ready for the answer. I'm ready for the answer. You just got the answer.
you
It's
just
like
got the
that little
answer.
thing.
It's like
Yeah,
internet,
that
right? It's the internet. Right, right,
it's
okay.
it's okay. It's like this. When somebody says, "What do you want to eat for dinner?" and they say this place, this place, this place, or this place, you always say the first one because that's the one they want to go to.
Okay, okay, right,
Got it?
right, got it,
Got it? I'm
got it.
talking about a girl now, all right? Women says, "You want to eat here or here?" Choose the one they say first.
Right.
It's
And,
very
and
simple.
for example, in this case, John Lennon, he was capable of communicating, or is this during the channeling, for example?
Well, I wasn't talking to him. I was just through the channel.
Oh, okay, okay, sorry, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying that the channel's trying to say that anybody can do that, which I don't personally. I'm not going to suggest that I could do it. I'm just saying that if you thought, let's like if I was going to say, hey John, what do you think of that? And I'd have some funny little joke to come back in my head. I'd go, ha ha ha, you're a joke. You're so funny, John. You know what I mean?
right, right,
It's just like, well, that doesn't mean I'm going to tell anybody. It's like, hey man, I had a conversation with John Lennon. It's like, you know what I mean? Come on.
yeah,
It's like
sure.
talking to your dead relatives. It works the same way,
So
man.
it works the same way, right? And here in South America, not only in South America, a lot of people do that. Like they try to do this spiritual thing to talk to people who's not, living anymore. And have you ever? Well, John Lennon is wow, man. John Lennon is just wow, man. Him and Kennedy would be two people I would like to talk to.
I don't
Um,
know anybody that talks to Kennedy, but that would be kind of fun, huh?
yeah, that would kind of fun to ask him some questions, right? Some, I don't know.
I'd like to talk to Tesla personally, but
Wow, that's a privilege. I don't know if I would get that privilege. I don't know if I deserve it, but yeah, Tesla would be really wild, man. Wow, man. He might even be alive, actually. They might be maintaining his body, his corpse alive somewhere. I don't know.
that's just now you're making crazy talk.
Yeah, that's
Really.
crazy talk. I know, I know, I know. But you know what? I don't know. We never know. We never know. I know what I know is that Thomas Edison, he actually patented all of Nikola's work, right? That's true,
No, he
or
didn't rip
partially
off
true.
everything.
Yeah, not everything.
There was this company called Westinghouse that has a
Exactly.
lot of that he worked for, and he did patent a pile. He made a lot of patents in his lifetime. Really, a lot of his money actually went into filing patents. You
Right.
know,
Right.
it's
You're talking
crazy.
about Edison, or you're talking about
Talk about Tesla.
Tesla, right?
Screw
Yes.
Edison.
Yeah. Yeah. Screw Edison. Right. Right.
Hey, can you hear the music by chance?
No, wait a minute. You're hearing music right now?
No, no, no. It's just that there's a party going on in the house across the street from me, and I was just curious to see if the
No.
microphone
No
was
music.
picking it up.
No music. Is the party good or bad? Bad party.
Well, they
Bad.
brought me a plate of food, so
Oh, that's good. That's very good.
can't complain too much, right?
Right.
Although I probably should put it in the refrigerator. But anyway, I'll probably heat it up, eat some more here in a little bit. They brought me some. It's not really carne asada. It's more of a carnitas, if you will. You know carnitas.
Carnitas.
You have carnitas, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Something. Of course you do. What do they call it over there?
That's well here. Wait a minute. Let me think. Well, feijoada maybe, right? No. What is
I
that?
don't.
Rice with meat? No.
Oh well, it is rice with meat, but it's you got that right. But it's pork.
Yeah,
It's like
I don't. Yeah, I
shredded
got that
pork.
right because I CRV to your home right now. I just saw the plate. It came back to my body.
See how you are.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it's
Did you
very.
see what? Okay, what's on top of the plate? What's on top of the plate? Come on.
There's something.
You only
Yeah,
look at the food.
there's something on top of the plate. A white thing on top of the plate.
Let me see. Look at. Oh, it's kind of dark and I can't see, but it's probably white. Yeah, it's white. It's a plate.
Yeah, it's a
There's
plate.
another
Exactly.
plate.
Another plate on
The
top of
pla-
the plate. Yeah, I
I
can
put
see
a
it.
plastic. We'll keep
Yeah.
the cat out of there. Is what that's for.
Right. Right.
Because
I can I
there
can
was
CRV
foil.
whatever wherever I want. Whatever. Yeah, it's kind of. I don't like it, man. It's like what you were talking about
You know
Tesla,
what?
right?
That's the Getty thing. See, flying saucers. And he also had to come up with a free energy device. So you got to learn about him. And then there's, of course, Wilhelm Reich, who learned about moving positive and negative energy using quartz crystals and water and things like this. And he was the guy that was able to make it rain. And he also was learning how major concepts of moving energy that were used eventually to develop the concepts of orgonite. And ultimately, if you look into what he was doing, you'll see that the energies that he was playing with were the same energies that were used in the Ark of the Covenant and things like this. But if you tie this all together, then you'll start understanding the universe a little bit. And then if you want to get really into it, you start learning about a guy named Konstantin Mail, who's a physicist out of Germany, who's also probably the one after Tesla that best understands the concept of a scalar wavelength or the scalar spectrum. And if you basically learn from him, you'll see that the entire electromagnetic spectrum, which is all the energy that we use in this entire reality here on Earth, basically is not the only thing there is. There's other spectrums that are completely parallel and not even connected that drive. And you'll find out that these things all work in a vortex. All energy, everything travels in a vortex, and it moves in a vortex. And when a vortex moves, it creates other vortexes, and that's what these other the electromagnetic spectrum is actually a vortex inside of another vortex, which is the spectrum on the level just above us, which is scalar, which is of the fourth density. And
right.
And
CRV, for example, Stephen, CRV is happens in fourth density. No, for example.
CRD.
CRV, yes.
Remote viewing is technically fourth density.
Yeah.
Okay, if you will. It's actually beyond fourth density. But the spirit world, if you will, all of that energy, the ability to separate your mind, it's like when you're on a DMT.
Yes.
Your ayahuasca, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
You're entering into this other realm. You're stepping up. You're stepping out of this density.